what Frankenstein is all about.
You can open that and share a fortune with us if you want to. You could call him.
Why don't I give it to him? He might be a better candidate.
Okay, all right.
I have a fun fortune cookie story.
Okay.
This past weekend, we were down getting some Thai. I was with some of my friends, and we all got fortune cookies. And so my roommate Michael, he opens his fortune cookie, and he reads it, and it says, "You will have a romantic encounter tonight." So so we're all laughing, making fun of him. So then I open my fortune cookie, and it says you will receive a big surprise tonight. And so
go on.
So what does your fortune say? Can you read?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Although if it's in Chinese, he will be rude.
Sometimes they use some pretty big words on fortunes.
You missed 100% of the shorts you never take.
You missed 100%.
No, you miss.
You miss 100% of the shorts or the shots? How do you spell it?
SHOTS.
Shots.
So you miss 100% of the shots you never take. What do you think that means?
I know what it is, and I don't think it's true.
No, really?
Because I hate shots.
See, there you go. No, this is not that kind of shot. This is by the NRA, the National Rifle Association, has put this out.
Or the NBA.
Was it
That's what I was
NBA?
well, that's what.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, could.
You still think about
Yeah, that's a good joke. NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's kind of like if you
Could
don't
be
play, then you
shots.
can't win. Well, yeah, right. Yeah. Elbow bending association.
yeah.
All right. Well, some people don't hate those shots. But then again, and I guess they miss them.
Again, if you overdo it.
But I'm with you. I hate shots. I hate shots.
I'm with that.
I have hated shots all my life. I have been like, no shots.
He just got blood taken the other day for the first time, and it was like
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yep.
Oh,
But
If
he
you
did
want to
really
see
good.
this,
Wow, I
the
can
scar?
still see. Yeah.
my goodness.
Did you wiggle a lot?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
took like 3 times.
Like the first time I was like, and then they did get it, and I was like,
Yeah, they should sedate you before that, shouldn't they?
That's what
Yeah.
he was asking. Can I be asleep to do this?
Yeah, there you go. That's what they should sedate you and like tie your arm down and all.
Get the hammer.
And then when you wake up, they should like give you a treat, and it just.
I think you did get some kind of treat, didn't you?
yeah,
Cookie and juice.
I got a little dog.
Oh well, why were they taking blood from you? Was your doctor a vampire?
No,
Oh,
it was just in case. Okay, say I got in a car crash. My dad got me in a car crash.
right.
And I got lots of blood out, and I sort of just like went to sleep like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like dead. But
And they needed to pump you back up.
yeah,
they would have
and they
some-
needed to know what kind of blood I had
I see. Uh-huh.
to see what type of blood they needed to put in me.
Uh-huh.
Because if they didn't have the right type of blood,
Uh-huh.
then
Uh-huh.
I would still be
Well,
asleep.
how much did they take out? Did you see?
I don't know. It's like a whole entire little pipe from here to about here.
Uh-huh.
So
They took out.
cool.
Actually, it was maybe about 4 of these from here to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they were testing for a number of different things. They were just like checking out his blood work and
One of those, a checkup.
Yeah, it was kind of
General.
a checkup, and he's been kind of a snotty kid for a really long time.
Uh-huh.
And so we're trying to see if we can see, if there's some things we can do to help him with his snottiness.
Huh.
I mean, he could be just a snot-nosed little kid.
Uh-huh.
Which is normal.
Yeah, which is normal. I mean, and it's like...
I mean, are you talking about mucus or are you talking about attitude here?
No, I'm talking about mucus.
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 Oh, okay. So you're looking for maybe...
Mucus or attitude?
Yeah, well, you're looking for possible allergies and things like that. Huh?
Yeah, but we actually
That's
just,
right. I think I heard that about you, that you have congestion and bronchitis or something like that. What is
Yeah,
it?
and he really likes to do things, and so it's like that gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
Not a lot. He doesn't let it get in the way at all.
Has the tea ever caused him any of that?
Not that I know of.
Okay, because I have one tea that Jen Mass says causes her to break out in hives
Oh.
when she drinks it.
Well, it could be the caffeine, because your tea is extremely loaded.
Oh yeah.
And maybe she's just not used to that strong. Maybe it's gunpowder tea.
Uh-huh.
Because I could imagine you
No.
having gunpowder tea.
I don't, but I would like to pick some up next time. I really... that's more or less what I meant to pick up when I picked this up, and this isn't what I meant to get. And the fact is, I don't read this very good,
Right.
and there's not a lot of English on here.
Right.
And I look at it and I'm going, now is that the one? I don't remember.
Where do you get your tea from?
Well, I get it from the China Garden Buffet, and I don't know if we're allowed to say
Yeah,
these
right.
things.
I knew
But-
once I said that I wasn't necessarily
Okay.
supposed to ask that question.
I like to say that though, and I don't think I've said it before, but because the people there have really gone out of their way to import some of the best tea from China,
Uh-huh.
and they have it there at very moderate prices, which is the only way I'm able to get it.
Right.
You believe me, you could pay a lot more for this tea.
Is that the buffet, Chinese buffet out Fillmore Square Mall?
That is
Irish
close to
breakfast.
Biltmore Square Mall. It's not in Biltmore Square Mall. But yeah, and so I like to let somebody know where to get some good tea.
Yeah.
So that's where you get some good tea.
Cool.
It really is. And, but there was a fella in town, I am told, that had the indigenous tea house, and I think he went out of business and now has a bunch of tea he wants to sell. Is what Raven was telling me.
It was called the Indigenous.
Tea house.
Yes.
Now we had some people. We had a girl here that lives in Hong Kong, and her boyfriend were at. I don't know if you were here when they were here before, but they came and drank tea, and he said that it was the second best tea he had had. He's the first best being the oolong that they served in the government tea house in China.
Were they Albert's friends?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I guess you were here. Well, yeah.
We actually got to go out and eat with them afterwards.
Right. We really enjoyed having them. We thought they were cool. Did you enjoy hanging out with them too?
Yeah, they're very, very
Aren't they
funny
cool?
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is very funny.
Yeah.
He is very just congenial.
No, is he a writer?
He is some kind of healer, I think.
Oh, I didn't get really enough of their story. I got, like where you're from and stuff, but I really didn't get enough of.
Maybe he's a writer related to
Told me-
healing.
Maybe.
He told me he was a photographer.
Photographer. I was
Yeah,
thinking for
yeah.
some reason journalist. Maybe he told me he was a journalist. Maybe he told you he was a photographer.
I know he does like speaking tour type things because
Uh-huh.
that's where he met her,
Uh-huh.
and it was related to healing in some way. And what kind of healing I don't remember.
What a cool couple. I really enjoyed it. I don't imagine we'll ever see them again.
Oh, it's always possible.
It's always
Especially-
possible. But if they breeze through town again and you run into them, please tell them to drop by. Yeah.
Definitely.
And Al always is invited. He,
And Albert, he knows that.
yeah, he can talk trash from both sides at
Oh, I
once.
know, man. That man can talk it all over.
Yeah, he can talk.
He has the best stories of anybody I know.
It's good. He's good. Yeah.
And he has
But
the
he
best
has, he also
stories
he
of
has a
everybody
style
I
of
know.
telling it too. It's beyond just the stories. He can take a boring story and make it interesting to listen to.
Well, yes.
You know,
That's true.
he can, because he's somewhat animated and he tells it with enthusiasm. You know
Right.
how he is. He's good. So
Hey,
so
actually, to me, he's the best toy getter in the world to me.
the best what
Toy getter.
toy gig?
He always brings him a toy.
Oh yeah. Does
and
he?
he always goes looking for the toy.
Uh-huh.
And if he doesn't bring him a toy, then he will find a toy that he hasn't necessarily brought from him, but he will get a toy.
I see. Yeah. Well, yeah. Does he bring good toys? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I noticed last time he had, or time before last, he had on like a very fancy yellow and purple hat. The, sort of fool's hat, not exactly
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah, his hats.
That's
his-
like him.
Yeah, his dressings and everything, the stuff he wears. I mean, he's got wonderful things. He got him a Harley Davidson jacket.
Wow.
He got him a
leather
NASCAR
jacket?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Leather Harley Davidson jacket.
he wears it all the time. I mean, it's too warm now.
Oh.
Is it a Harley Davidson brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one. Harley Davidson brand Harley Davidson jacket.
It was sweet.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yep. They're sweet. So sweet.
They're, if yours is made as tough as the one that I had, I assume you'll outgrow it, but they will last you.
Glasses.
It will last you for years and years and years. As far as I know, it's the toughest motorcycle jacket made.
Yeah,
they're,
he'll definitely outgrow it.
they're made out
He's
of
in that process already.
they're made of the toughest
Yeah, but
leather I know.
actually, it was like when Albert got it for me, I was like, "What? This thing is too big for me." And Dad was like, "Okay, you'll just be able to wear it anyways."
So have you grown into it now? Is it still too big for you or not?
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's about right now.
Okay.
My hand can go.
Well, just stop growing for a couple of years to get as much use out of it as you
Yeah.
can. Wear it as much as you can.
We don't want him to do the tin drum thing. That wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah. But wear it as much as you can. That you can intimidate your friends at school. Do you go to school?
Yeah,
How old are you?
6.
6, and what grade are you in?
First.
First grade. Yeah. Oh yeah, you ought to be able to intimidate first graders in a Harley jacket. You know. Watch.
Yeah.
Give me your
Yeah,
lunch
I
money.
think I got it when I was 4 or 3 or something.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Yeah, 4. It's a good chance. Good chance.
Oh, well, we managed to come up with some guests. I didn't get left
I
alone.
saw that. I was supposed to come in, and once again, I'm bumped out. Priority.
Oh no.
There's still space.
Yeah.
You can sit right there.
Sit down.
And that's great. I've been hauling that DVD around. Well, you just don't know how many times I brought it and didn't run into you and didn't run into it and didn't run into it until finally somewhere along the line, I wind up taking it out of my pocket and stuff and all. And then it's not long after
And
that
then we're there.
until I'll see you, and then I'll put it back in my pocket, and then I'll bring it and I'll bring it and I won't see you. And today I went through a frantic look, oh now let's see, and I got lucky this time. And there you are.
Now you're doing this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Oh, that's what I meant to do. They say I don't plug my show enough. The Anarchy TV, where you might see the interview with Al.
Right.
Did you ever see that?
I still haven't seen it now.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't think this is the show version. I think this is just the pure, straight-through interview version that I gave you.
You didn't put it all on there, did you?
I put the whole thing on one show. It makes up like 95% of the show. It's just about pure. I edited it in a few places because mostly because of language, but I always have a few little things I throw in where I
Well,
like.
don't you have? I thought Anarchy TV was like late night, so that you didn't have to worry about language. So
Well, I choose not to go on the language bandstand, and I try to keep it so that it can play anytime.
Right.
But I play it after hours just in case something slips through. But the fact is, I may want to, and I try to, and I feel like I do cover issues. You see, this is an area where Al and I understand something alike, and that is aesthetics, and he talks about it on that too. I like to cover what I consider more important matters, and sometimes I only imply them through aesthetics and stuff like that. But no matter how outspoken I may want to be about something, I don't want to have to defend the language issue. I don't want the local Baptist church saying, and invalidating my concepts because they say, he uses foul language on his show, and negate. I don't want my concepts negated.
Right.
From it. That's not the battle I'm here to fight. I think there's other people fighting the language barrier, and I think, and one of the concepts that I'm dealing with right now is they're using this whole thing with Imus, and I hate to mention Imus on the show and stuff like that, but they're using this whole thing with taking Imus off the air. Are you aware of that? Do you watch television? There's a guy named Imus, and he said something about a girls' basketball team that had a lot of black girls on it.
I think I might have heard it on
Right,
radio.
and
He
they're
was just offered up.
right, and they're
Sacrificial lamb.
right, but now he may have also made some political enemies
Yeah.
besides this, and so there could be, for instance, he would not let Hillary Clinton on his show, I was told, and stuff like that. So there could be a lot of things involved here. But what I'm seeing is people are already using this thing about shock jocks and stuff like that to start to try to close down the Second Amendment. Like, this guy has lost his job, he's off the air and stuff like that, and there's a big political or a big thing that everybody's talking about it, about what's being said on the air and stuff like that, and you can't use this word or that word, or even imply this or imply that, and the whole thing can be, well, come on in.
How we doing?
We're doing good. You're gonna have you'll have to take the
great
end
shirt.
seat, I'm afraid, because we.
That's fine.
Wonderful color.
You all may also have to pull you a clean cup out of there, because it appears as though
Ian's got 2 cups.
Ian's got 2 cups now.
Okay, well that's fine. How about cookies?
Looks like good cookies.
Yeah.
They look like Oreo mint-ish
They
things.
are.
All right.
Oh, they
Well,
are. They are
But-
mintish.
Yeah.
I see green in them.
Yes.
Looks like they are. Yeah.
caffeine and sugar. We hand out caffeine and sugar
Oh,
here.
Indeed.
he's
Cookie. Who
so
wants
in trouble
cookies?
tonight. Or in just a few minutes.
Cookie?
Take one. Thank you.
We got the chocolate, the caffeine, cookies. Oh, I'll take a handful. I'll take like several. How's that?
Go for it.
You know, I'm a pig, and I'm proud of it. I'll there's no use hiding it.
So, what did this guy say on his show?
Okay.
It's not worth repeating.
There was a shot, but it was during sports,
The
and it showed
Rutgers women's team.
it showed the women's basketball team, and he says, now there's some nappy headed hoes. You know.
Whoops.
That's what Don Imus said.
Yeah, I've heard that. And if he just went straight ahead and called Al Sharpton a nappy-headed hoe, probably could have gotten away with it.
What you call girls on a sports team?
But
Yeah,
but
who weren't doing anything except doing what they were doing.
yeah, but what I'm saying, everybody has to agree. Well, no, this was not a good thing for him to say. That was not nice. Everybody agrees that was not nice. But
Yes.
and even he, now,
Did he apologize to him or
yeah.
He made a huge round of apologies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he was
In the process of losing his job on
Yeah.
NBC or whatever he's on, but
He's on NBC?
is it MS?
MSNBC.
Yeah. So
So it's like a major network thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the deal is that it's being used to even further clamp down on freedom of speech. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I mean, yeah, sometimes we have to put up with that. Okay, no, okay, yeah, right. None of us want it on TV, and I'm going to tell you, I really don't care for the violence that's on TV and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't want to see a lot of government influence come in and regulate
Right.
things. You see what I mean? I would rather have to put up with it. I can turn the TV off. I don't like it, and I can turn the TV off. And it is almost to the point that, I mean, besides public TV and a few other rare places like this, for instance, there's very few places you can turn to and not see at least a half dozen murders a night, if not twice that.
Right.
You know, and I get really tired of that.
I was under the impression that it was purely business economic, that being that his network decided to drop him because they were losing sponsorship and the like.
Yeah.
That the end all be all was green.
Way of getting rid of him.
So it wasn't necessarily a government thing. He wasn't.
No, I mean the government didn't kick him off the air.
No.
He got fired by the company who decided it was just too hot.
No, but I'm hearing politicians. I mean, I'm listening to C-SPAN and things like that, and I'm starting to hear politicians using this particular spotlight and this particular incident, and even becoming more generalized, and then realizing, oh, what's happening here. Well, for instance, I was watching. See, there's a lot going on with the FCC and stuff like that. So I'm watching these kind of things, and they're talking to the guy with the FCC on C-SPAN,
Right.
and I'm watching it, and suddenly there's a big thing about what can be said on the air and stuff like that, and that's all in light of this going down. You
Right.
see what I mean? So it's spotlight on this right now, and they're saying, oh, well, we don't want our children exposed to this and exposed to that, and all.
Look at what Limbaugh gets away with. Yeah.
Well, nobody listens to Limbaugh anymore.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
But
But on the other
Kinda
hand,
goes back to
Rush
Janet
Limbaugh
Jackson.
has guests like Dick
And
Cheney.
then
that's part of it too.
Bono. I mean, because I remember when Janet Jackson had her wardrobe malfunction, and not too long either before or after that, Bono had an interview where he said F and something.
I remember that.
And those two were linked together. And there was talk about the same thing that you're talking about. I mean, it seems to me like it's related in some way.
But it really irritates
Bono
me.
somehow got away with it.
It really irritates me that when some of this kind of stuff comes along, that people jump on that and use that to try to limit our liberties.
Right.
The same way as someone bombs a trade center and then they want to come along and limit our liberties with Patriot Act and stuff like that. It's like at every excuse, and then all of a sudden the spotlight is on it. They blow it up. There's a lot of talk about it, and it turns out they're limiting our liberties. You know, it's all okay with me. I get tired of hearing it, but I really get tired of having my liberties limited. You know,
Sure.
I'm doing a live show, okay? I mean, all this is like part of the here and the now in my life too. It's not just I've seen this on TV. I'm doing TV, and I'm doing a live show. And Jonathan will walk in here, and he may say a word. You know, I don't try to encourage Jonathan to say a word, but sometimes I can't stop Jonathan from saying, you know. Okay, all right. I don't want the FCC guys to up the fine to $3,000 because Jonathan walked in here and said a word. Okay,
Is that part of what's happening? I mean, are the fines raised?
that's what they're talking about. See what I mean? They're talking about getting tougher. They're talking about that that they've been getting away with too much stuff, and they're saying also it's much broader than that. You've got to understand that the respect for the president. They say that the respect for the president has gone down because of people like shock jocks that'll say the kind of things that they'll say that people are losing faith in their own government because
Respect has to be earned.
because of
Amen.
shock jocks. You see what I mean?
Amen.
I mean, I heard this.
I have a hard time seeing that part.
I have. See?
Okay, but
And I have
just-
heard this, and I have heard this while they were talking to people from the FCC and stuff like that, and they're talking about so we need to
Yeah, never mind.
to raise fines, and we need to have a more aggressive campaign and da da da.
The amazing thing is, the fines they're talking about are more than what would happen if there was a quote-unquote incident at a nuclear reactor. A fine for that would be a fraction of what we're talking about here for just saying a word.
Well, they're counting on these big stars to say something, so they
Right.
can
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and they went on beyond that too. They said they said shock jocks, but they said also big stars. Big stars are coming on TV, and they're calling into question the actions of our president and of our officials, and that causes the people to lose confidence. in their leaders, and that is not good for our country. See what I mean? And
I
when
wish
I hear
more
this,
people would say these things
when,
myself.
when I hear this kind of talk, it bothers me. Okay. That's what's on my mind.
Well, I find that very bothersome myself. Have we come to yet? I could see how maybe this could have started with NBC airing the tape from the killer at Virginia Tech. Has that been brought up yet today?
Oh,
No.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
And how everybody's like really upset about that.
Yeah. And I've given that some thought just today.
Someone called me. You may know that I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder because somebody tried to murder me, and it was a gory scene. And someone called me up and told me, they said I just wanted to warn you, if they show the photos on TV, they told me don't watch them. You don't want to watch them.
Of the victims?
Huh?
For the victims?
Apparently the killer sent photos in, and apparently there's one of him with a hammer or something, and the guy who tried to murder me with a hammer in my sleep. So they just suggested that I probably wouldn't want to see it. And I probably don't. You know?
I've given that some thought today, and I come to the conclusion I wish NBC hadn't aired that, and not for any sort of, not necessarily out of social decency or anything like that. I wish NBC hadn't aired it because that's what the guy wanted.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Well, now listen. Yeah. Does.
Yeah, he takes everybody out, kills himself, and then a package comes in with the videotape that he made right before
I heard
the rampage.
Okay.
that
Well,
the police are the only ones that
Gets his last
usually
word.
sees these videotapes like that.
Yeah.
They're the only ones, and they, put the family through that, double, like, whammy there.
yeah. Well, all right. Does NBC need to show that? I mean.
They didn't, but they had an exclusive, and I'm sure in the newsroom it's like, oh my god, you wouldn't believe what we've got. They were the only ones that had it, and...
Right, it's a kind of a marketplace thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, again, it's pure green, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. But think about it. Is that something they need to see? I mean, that they need to show? Is that something we need to see at all? I mean, how many people are interested in seeing that? Is that what you want on your television set? You talk
I know
about
my kid that's in college. She's traumatized by the whole thing. She's freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Where does she go to school?
She goes to Charlotte, and she's terrified.
UNCC?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And I imagine.
Hey, are you gonna drop in on us?
Yeah, a little bit.
Will you have a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We got the famous Ralph outside.
Mm-hmm. Ralph makes it happen.
Huh?
Ralph makes it happen.
Yeah.
But I think that there's something to be said for that. I mean, it's like that's one of the things that happens when you show something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and in the environment, I thought about her and the relationship of what. I mean, I went to Virginia Tech back in the early 70s.
Oh, you attended Virginia?
Yeah.
I've been there. I was there for a concert. The Ramones. Were you there with the Ramones?
No, I don't think I was. Although I could have been. I mean, it was 72 when I was there, so they were playing.
Back in that period.
Right.
Getting that way, yeah.
Maybe a little softer. Maybe they'll fly
Well,
a bit.
I hate to have to say it, but I have slowly come around to the idea that what you see on TV, what you listen to on the radio, does in fact influence you, does in fact affect you.
Oh, it definitely does.
And
It's a proven scientific fact.
I mean, I used to when I was younger. I didn't believe it, but I get older, I'm realizing, there's just too much garbage, and the degree with which the people that